Thank you. Order. Point of order, Mr. Wishart.
And a point of order which I have given you prior notice of, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, you have been very clear about the outcome of last Wednesday's vote and what is expected from this government in light of the overwhelming result. The government has been mandated on a binding vote of this House to deliver analysis papers to the Brexit Select Committee as directed in the motion. They have to, as the motion clearly intends, do so without qualification, redaction or equivocation. And there is also an expectation that the government complies with the will of the House as a matter of urgency. Today, in response to the urgent question, the Minister responsible indicated that no such commitment will be made. The House was told by the Honourable Member for Wickham that the House may expect a publication of papers within 3 weeks. This appeared to be an intention, not a binding promise or guarantee. He also suggested that the publication of these papers could be partial and qualified. He even went as far as to suggest that these papers didn't even exist. Mr. Speaker, you have said that a failure to comply fully would mean that the government could be in contempt of this House. I have now written to you, Mr. Speaker, regarding a privileged complaint that this government has held this House in contempt for refusing to fully comply with a binding vote of this House. Mr. Speaker, it is of course entirely within your gift how you choose to reply to this letter and indicate whether you are prepared to see any progress progressed. Erskine May on page 273 says that you may allow precedence so a motion may be tabled, formally calling attention to the matter and either proposing that it be referred to the Committee of Standards and Privileges or making some other appropriate proposition. Mr. Speaker, I am sure you are aware of the significance of such a process, and I would be grateful to you for any response or guidance on this matter.
To the honourable gentleman for his point of order and for his courtesy in giving me advance notice of his intention to raise it. He is quite right in his assessment that the correct way in which to proceed with an allegation of contempt is in writing to the Speaker. The honourable gentleman has just informed the House that he has written to me. He will understand that I have not yet seen his letter. I can, however, assure him that I will study his letter most carefully. He will also, I'm sure, appreciate that I will not and cannot be expected to entertain, and to be fair, he has not really asked me to entertain hypothetical scenarios as to what might follow. I will consider his letter carefully, and when I have formed a view about it and any allegation that it contains, I will revert in all probability not only to the honourable gentleman but, as necessary, to the House. Given what I've said, I think it's reasonable for people to deduce that there cannot be further legitimate points of order on this matter today. Thank you.